And we are about to be underway. Arthur's with a mountain and a Faithless Looting. A great place to start. As Marshall is on 6 cards.
6 cards makes it much harder for him to collect Brutality for 2 modes.
And Titan Shift is literally the worst card of all time. Or it's the worst deck of all time. It truly is. Tech Core 1. Curious if I have my shoes on or off right now. Currently on.
Off for me.
Nice. Currently on. But as we dive deeper into the day, as here is a Inquisition of Kozilek. Take the Dreadbore. Oh, no.
Take the Young Pyromancer.
Take the Collective Brutality. Take the Collective Brutality.
This is not shaping up to be 3 elementals getting on the battlefield.
Why is that?
Michael Kidd's deck is 47 Turbinates, and it's really hard for that thing to stay in play for a bunch of turns.
May not have an answer. Ah, come on.
Yeah. You know, Arthur's, I really think this is a good spot to drain for 2.
He doesn't even have black mana.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have black
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
All right, there's the Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf 5/6 or larger. This is actually perfect for me because it's another spot that I can fill out that does not allow me to win the game.
That's correct. That is correct. Lingering Souls and Fatal Push for the discard to the Faithless Looting. Young Pyromancer, of course, in Arthur's graveyard. Tarmogoyf checking in at 3-4 after the Inquisition. Boy, so Collective Brutality using 2 modes is just the W. Let's see what we got here. Another copy of Faithless Looting. I would
very good chance the Brutality just gets discarded here. He just doesn't have enough cards to work with.
Seems very bad in this situation. Yes, of course. Oh, no.
Okay.
Discarded Lingering Souls. Found a Marsh Flats. And there's a Dreadbore. All right, we're going to go back over to Michael Kidd now.
Yeah, and I like Arthur's there, just getting the cards out of his hand rather than flashing back Lingering Souls that turn. So many discard spells in the Jund deck.
I believe the last card in hand here for Marshall actually is that Collective Brutality.
Yeah, I think it's known.
Well, Thoughtseize, take it.
Okay.
We're live. And another Goyf. We'll go back over to Arthur's now. 4-5 Goyf. Ooh.
Okay.
Well, there's Blood Moon. Cuts off the green source, makes it into a red source. Liliana time, perhaps? Yep. Liliana not great right now.
This is
fine.
Some classic Junding right now.
It really is. It really is. Liliana up. Discard a Blackcleave Cliffs. Goyf in for 4.
Just heads up that 5/6 Tarmogoyf or larger and player locked out by Blood Moon, both on my board, both do not result in wins.
Correct. That's correct. Here's Lingering Souls. 2 spirits on the way. Marshall Arthurs will pass the turn back. Over to Michael Kidd.
I also don't think it's fair to describe this as a player being locked out by Blood Moon.
No, he's casting
several basics and arguably mana fixing him.
We need to put on the bingo square Blood Moon fixes mana for opponent.
Yeah.
Arthur's down to 11 now. Liliana going to go down to 2. Take care of a spirit token. Marshall will untap. And he will draw. He's got another Lingering Souls in the graveyard right now. Going to go after Liliana. And Bolt will take care of that. Follow up. Young Pyromancer. Thoughtseize. That's 1 token.
That's 1 element.
That's 1 token. That's 1 Ross Merriam token. Thoughtseize takes care of a Tarmogoyf.
Asking a lot to get to 3 elementals on this board, but
well, come on, sack the. Actually, I need it like this. 5/6.
Yeah, which gets me nowhere.
Okay.
Other than now, Gifts Ungiven cast for 3 mana is a win.
We watched multiple Storm players this weekend so far too. Marshall. with the Bedlam
Oh,
Reveler.
God.
Big draw, big draw. Time to chain off. Blood Crypt enters the battlefield untapped. No damage, of course, because the Blood Moon. Here come 2 Spirits and a Young Pyromancer Elemental token, and there's an attack for 2, and Marshall Arthurs is climbing his way back into this one. As we head back over to Michael Kidd. Kidd will draw. Remember, these Ravnica dual lands enter the battlefield untapped underneath Blood Moon. A little bit of a rules change there.
Yeah.
5/6 Goyf coming in. Elemental token. Yeah, right in the way.
Your first round pairings are being posted at the gathering point on salmon paper. Please make your way to your seats.
Follow up here from Michael Kidd.
Players in the 11th.
There's a Dark Confidant.
Ooh.
Your first round pairings.
Let's go back over to Marshall Arthurs.
The gathering point on salmon
He'll draw.
paper.
This would be a really good spot for Collective Brutality.
Yeah, this wouldn't be bad. You know, start by flashing back Faithless Looting, making an Elemental, and triggering Prowess.
2 modes. 2 modes. Kill the Confidant, drain for 2.
Even
It'll be
the-
nice
even
if
the
it comes
rest.
down. It'll be nice if it comes down to what you getting the 3rd elemental token as a brutality for 2 is being resolved.
Ooh, that would feel nice.
Yeah, that's like it totally
that
in
would
play
feel
here.
nice. I didn't even think about that. Or Brutality for 3 modes.
Right.
Because yours is 2 modes, not 2+ modes. Nick screwed you. Oh, yeah. Time for some attackers here. Bedlam Reveler and a Lingering Souls token coming in. And pass a turn back. Dark Confidant's going to reveal another copy of Tarmogoyf. I think that's all 4 of this game, folks. Michael Kidd will take 2. Though no green mana to be able to cast that Tarmogoyf. Michael Kidd doing a little bit of math, thinking about how he can work himself through this situation. It's getting difficult.
Well, he's in that really rough spot of can't attack and can't block.
Yes.
I mean, certainly holding back on defense is not going to work with Arthur's going wide and Kidd's life total falling with a Confidant on the table, especially with so many of his draws deaded by the Blood Moon that's on the battlefield. And Arthur's also can just have so many chump blockers and hits back so hard that attacking is not an easy way to get it done either.
And Goyf looks like he wants to come in along with Dark Confidant. Michael's rather unsure of himself.
I mean, I think hanging back and blocking is just a dead end because Arthur gets to draw to removal spells. He gets to manage combat so easily that even if this is bad, I think hanging back on defense is just a 0%er. There's
Sure.
no way that works.
The question now is, what has Michael Kidd got working within his hand? He'll play Blackleaf Cliffs. And that is a mountain, so it's in the battlefield untapped. We'll go back over to Marshall. SCG Louisville champion earlier this year will draw a card. He's very quickly tapping mana to recast Faithless Looting. Elemental token on the way here for Arthur's. 2 cards on the way as well. He'll discard 2 cards. Looks like 2 Thoughtseize is going to go to the graveyard. Now here's an Inquisition of Kozilek. Make another Elemental token. That's 2. Tarmogoyf will bite the dust. Come on, spell. Bedlam Reveler, 2 spells been cast. That's a 5-power creature.
Yeah, he's a point short as it stands.
That's 5, 6, 7, 8.
Please draw and concede. Please draw and concede.
Please do not do that.
Draw and concede.
Come on.
Faded it.
Come on.
Faded it. Got close.
Marshall Arthur's going to win game number 1 here over Michael Kidd.
It's a good fade.
Mario Pyromancer up a game over Jund as we turn our attentions to the sideboards. We'll start with Kidd, and he's got a diverse one. 3 Leyline of the Void, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Fulminator Mage, an Ancient Grudge, a Damping Sphere, a Hunt Master that Fells, a Collective Brutality, an Engineered Explosives, a Kitchen Finks, a Liliana the Last Hope, and a card I bet you can't tell me the text of.
What?
Alpine Moon.
Oh, hold on. No, I don't have it. You're right. I don't have it.
Okay. Alpine Moon. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Alpine Moon if we can really quick.
I do not.
Alpine Moon time. It's a single red.
Yep.
Single red.
Oh, this is it's like the Blood Moon, a land, or a land loses. It's like yeah.
As Alpine Moon enters the battlefield, choose a non-basic land card name. Non-basic land card name. That's doesn't read all that well.
Yes, it's like you babble fished it into Japanese and then had it babble fished back into English.
There it is. Land your opponent's control with the chosen name, lose all land types and abilities, and they gain tap, add 1 mana of any color. Back to the match.
Just a fun rare to open.
We'll take a look. Take a look at those sideboards again.
Oh, okay.
What do you want? What do you want here from Michael?
I want the Leyline of the Voids.
Okay.
Mario Pyromancer runs so much off of the graveyard. I think it's worth just trying to cut that out. The Anger of the Gods here, I think, when backed up by Leyline, can be really effective too. I like some of just the grindier creatures, the Hunt Master of the Fells, the Kitchen Finks, Engineered Explosives, Liliana, Collective Brutality are all justifiable. Really good sideboard here.
Marshall Arthur's got 4 Leyline of the Void of his own, 3 Engineer Explosives, 3 Goblin Rabble Master, 3 Stony Silence, Hater in the house, and 2 Campbell, Council of Allocation.
Pretty close to the same 60. I could be talked into the explosives. The rest of this, not really interested in.
All right. Well, those are the options there for both players. We'll see how they opt to sideboard. And while they work on that, we are working on this. We are talking about the StarCityGames.com newsletter. It is your source for Magic the Gathering news. You can sign up for free, and Patrick's going to tell you about all that's in this bad boy.
Well, it comes out about once a week, and it's a very good summary of what's going on over at Star City Games with highlights from some of our best articles, upcoming SCG Tour dates and locations, Possibility Storm puzzle solutions. You can find invitational qualifiers and game nights near you. Best of all, signing up is free over at go.starcitygames.com/newsletter.
Well, we prepare for game number 2 here in just a moment between Marshall Arthurs and Michael Kidd. If you are just joining us, thanks for doing so. Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan here in a booth. Nick Miller working on the metagame breakdown over in the sideboard.
Just so you know, player gets pregame effects is not bingo. It is bingo 3 ways. I get it 3 ways.
You do
if it turns 0 Leyline, gets it to me 3 ways.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get out. Actually,
we are actually approaching the maximum number of spaces I could have
without bingo.
Right.
Yes. You need Collected Company finds 1 creature.
How many spaces do I have remaining that I can hit and not get it? It's 2, right?
Oh, actually, no. Collected Company is a bingo.
These two right here. Player locked out by Blood Moon and Cavern of Souls not naming Eldrazi Ultra Humans.
Yeah. Because it was
every other space I have available.
It was an unclaimed territory to name Illusionist Terrain, not Cavern of
Right.
Souls.
Right.
Yeah. This is impressive.
I'm just hoping for a ley line here because I think Michael Kidd should be bringing them in here.
They're good.
They're very good.
Knock out Lingering Souls. Knock out Faithless Looting.
Bedlam Reveler becomes an impossibility.
Yeah, Bedlam Reveler is horrible then.
Yep.
Kolaghan's Command gets much worse.
Yep.
There's a lot to like about Leyline of the Void here, which is why I would not bring them in.
Both players have Collective Brutality. That's good for me.
True.
Although Arthur's might have sided his out. They're not great against Jund. Although showing Dark Confidant, maybe that's enough to keep it around.
He's going to keep. It was a reluctant keep, though. It didn't feel like a snap keep. Marshall snap mulligan, that's for sure. He did not like that hand at all. So
very impressive comeback there, game 1 from Arthur's.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how this matchup goes sometimes. If the Jund player is a little light on removal spells, all of their creatures just kind of attack and block their light on trample or other modes of interaction. So if Mario Pyromancer can get going, you have kind of a sea of chump blockers and evasion and be able to go wide and sometimes outsize them to be able to work through a big Tarmogoyf.
These players playing for a lot here this weekend. Let's take a look at our prize slide here. $5,000 for first place. Marshall Arthur's already won that once this year. Finalist, $2,000. Top 4 is $1,000. Top 8, $500 as we're in day number 2 of competition. You make that top 8, qualify for our Season 2 Invitational at the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia. Going to be a lot of fun at SCGCon Winter Edition as we go back to that match. See if Marshall's found 6 cards that he likes.
No, he's on 5
Looks
now.
like he's going down to 5. Scry, keep it. Fade, 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 fade. Okay. Ooh. I thought that was a ley line. Okay. Thoughtseize. This is a Faithless Looting, a Dreadbore, an Inquisition that goes like a Bolt, and a Blackcleave Cliffs.
Fine 5-card hand.
Yeah, playable. Totally playable. I actually thought that was a ley line to start. I was ready to scoop it up there. Curious what Michael Kidd wants to take. He's consulting his hand quite a bit here before making this decision with the Thoughtseize. A lot of the times in situations like this, you see the player take the opponent's discard spell.
Yeah, that seems to make the most sense to me. I mean, there's a bunch of cards that may or may not work against what's in Kidd's hands, but the Inquisition almost certainly does. So
Sacred Foundry under the battlefield tap there for Marshall Arthurs. So he's got a second land. Raging Ravine there for Michael Kidd. Let's go back Arthur's way.
yeah, and I like Arthur's not firing off the looting there on the first turn because he's already 5 cards and now kind of 4 cards because of the discard spell. And if you don't find anything good to flash back, it's just another mulligan. So he wants to wait until he finds something like Lingering Souls, where he has at least 1 good discard.
Thoughtseize will take a Bloodbraid Elf. A Bloodbraid Elf and a Dark Confidant will be left behind, along with a Verdant Catacombs and a Blood Crypt here for Michael Kidd. Arthur's has got the information written down. We'll head back over to Michael Kidd, who, what a gentleman playing face-up here for you at home and for Marshall Arthur's across from him. Kidd trying to figure out if he does want to play Dark Confidant or not here. He knows that Arthur's does have a Lightning Bolt, so it will just die. So he'll hold it. We'll go back over to Arthur's now. And now it'll be time to play that Faithless Looting. Arthur's will draw 2 cards. He'll be discarding 2 here in just a moment. Faithless Looting, the backbone of this particular strategy, and Mario Pyromancer. A Dreadbore and a Faithless Looting will go to the graveyard. And Marsh Flats will be the land for the turn, and we'll head back over to Michael Kidd. But before we do, he's going to sacrifice Verdant Catacombs and dig a land out of his deck.
This is an interesting spot. You saw Kidd hold off on the Dark Confidant last turn because he knows about Arthur's Lightning Bolt. And he's now presented with the same dilemma with the Bloodbraid Elf this coming turn, which he can cast. One is, it could just die to Lightning Bolt. And 2, a lot of things he can cascade into are removal spells that basically brick off with Arthur's having nothing on the table. So does Kidd just sit here and wait? Or does he try to do something proactive? Because there's a lot of good hits, too. He finds any creature. He finds a Planeswalker, certainly. He can pull really far ahead with this Bloodbraid Elf.
Mm-hmm.
But now with Arthur's emptying out his hand, I think then it's easy to play something this turn, whether it's Dark Confidant or one of the Bloodbraid Elves.
Well, it looks like it might be Blood Crypt that enters the battlefield untapped here. Kidd a little unsure of himself, but he will play that. He'll Cascade. See what the find is here. Well, it's not going to be Hunt Master of the Fells. It's going to be a pretty stinky Engineered Explosives, which, curious if you're supposed to cast or not. Actually, I do think you cast it for 0 because of Lingering Souls.
Yeah, but Mario Pyromancer, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Lingering Souls, Elemental Tokens, and an artifact in the graveyard for Tarmogoyf. So playing an Explosives on 0 might look a little strange there, but it's totally reasonable, as now we'll see a Faithless Looting from the graveyard. Arthur's will discard 2 cards. Blood Moon Inquisition will go to the graveyard. 1 card left. If for Marshall Arthur's, you're hoping it's a Bedlam Reveler. 4 mana, another Bloodbraid Elf. Let's do a little bit of this. Liliana the Last Hope.
Yeah, that's one of the hits that the kid wants, one of the Lilianas.
In for 6 will put Marshall Arthurs down to 6. Arthurs will untap. Lingering Souls is of no help here. It's got to start with Bedlam Reveler most likely here, folks. There's a Blackleaf Cliffs and just a passing of the turn. Maybe Kolaghan's Command gets itself involved as we head back over to Michael Kidd. Kidd with a Pulse, a Confidant, and a Mystery card in hand at this stage. Looks like a Terminate.
Very Jundy hand.
Yeah, very Jundy. Beatdowns. Bolt will take care of that. But Michael Kidd is very much in the driver's seat at this stage.
Yeah, only thing to really be mindful of, I would say, from this spot is Bedlam Reveler. That's the only thing that can catch you up in terms of raw card count. And Kid's got a lot to work with. A lot of removal spells.
Gonna minus the Liliana. Get back a Scavenging Ooze. Looks like I might be playing a Scavenging Ooze, yep. Arthurs will fan out the graveyard here for Kid to see, in case he'd like to remove anything with Scavenging Ooze. And Kid will just pass the turn back. Arthurs will sacrifice a fetch land in Bloodstained Mire. Try to find the best draw possible here, as there's a basic mountain. And this might be his last draw step of this particular game. Let's see how he does. Nope. That will take care of it. Michael Kidd's going to win game number 2 here over Marshall Arthurs. Jund, Motor Pyromancer going to game number 3. The sweat is real. The sweat is so real. Can one of us do it? As we take a look at the sideboards here one more time. Doesn't look like either. Oh, it doesn't look like Arthur's going back to the drawing board. It looks like Kidd is just a little bit. Again, we expect some cards here to come in, like Leyline of the Void, Huntmaster of the Fells, which we saw him work past via Cascade, Kitchen Finks, Liliana Last Hope, Engineer Explosives, all good cards to have in the deck.
Yeah, he's got a number of cards here that are nice for more of a attrition-y game, just some random one-up threats. I still think the Leyline of the Voids here are excellent, probably in the deck.
I hope. They are very good in the matchup. Well, they're shuffling. We're talking game night, and then we're watching some more Magic here in the month of August, every single week. You know, this month is almost over.
Winding down.
Man, 26th of August today. Order the first cheese. And I'll let you tell our good friends about everything else with this promotion.
Well, you can head over to go.starcitygames.com/game night to find out more information. Every month, Star City Games comes up with new pins and tokens that we send to stores that are signed up for game night. And then stores can run game night however they want to, any day of the week, any format they want, just getting players in the store on a regular basis for some fun and friendly Magic. As Cedric mentioned, this is Order the First Cheese. August is winding down. We have a couple kits coming up to show you. In September, it's Garden Tendencies. And then in October, Head of the Class. Again, go to StarCityGames.com/game night. Find out more information and find the game night closest to you. In stores, if you want to get signed up for game night, contact your Star City Games in-store play representative.
Game number 3 about to be underway here between SCG Louisville champion and Marshall Arthurs earlier this year with this deck. Mardu Pyromancer against Michael Kidd playing Jund. I think oftentimes a good matchup here for Mardu Pyromancer, but Jund definitely can fight back, as you saw in that second game. We'll see if Arthurs can actually find a 7-card hand this time around. An Ohio native who I've known, I think since I was like 17, Marshall Arthurs. Loves to battle, loves to play Magic online, and likes to play some unorthodox decks. I think that's the most fun thing about him. He was playing the mono-red like prison deck with Mog Catcher and Legacy for a long time.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, he really liked that deck for a while. Lock you out and then search up some Siege Gang commanders. Mardu Pyromancer very much in his wheelhouse is some sort of Blood Moon mid-range strategy. And you saw Blood Moon get discarded in the second game. In the second game, so.
Faded it.
Yep. No Leyline, great. Here is a Thoughtseize. Kolaghan's Command. Scavenging Ooze. Collective Brutality. Bloodbraid Elf. Forest, Raging Ravine, Bloodstained Mire.
A Jund hand if I've ever seen one.
A snap keep for Jund. It's got all 3 colors of mana, all 3 colors of cards.
Tapped land to play on turn 1.
Yep, it's everything that Jund would want.
I can go fetch for my swamp on turn 2, and then I'll have a swamp and forest to go along with whatever. So Blood Moon doesn't matter. Ways to interact. All the cards in the hand interact with opposing cards in some form or fashion.
So I'd like to turn that Bloodstained Mire into a Twilight Mire.
No, because then he's more vulnerable to Blood Moon.
Good point. Good point.
The hand needs to be smooth against
That's
Blood
a
Moon,
really
too,
good point, actually.
That is part of it.
Scavenging Ooze will go to the graveyard. It is ready for everything.
Right.
Classic Jund.
It's the perfect Jund hand.
Raging Ravine will start things off here for Michael Kidd. We'll go back over to Marshall Arthurs. He will play an Inquisition of Kozilek. Huntmaster of the Fells was the draw. Looks like Kolaghan's Command will be the selection. The follow-up is a Bloodstained Mire there for Arthurs. And we'll go back over to Michael Kidd, who will draw a card. That is a Tarmogoyf.
Now it's too good. It's too good of a Jund hand.
And Basic Swamp is the find. Michael Kidd out here doing his thing. Junding, as Marshall Arthurs will search up a Sacred Foundry with his fetch land. Maybe we go towards Lingering Souls now for Arthurs. We'll see. Blood Moon has gotten a lot worse now.
Although Lingering Souls into the face of the Liliana you know about.
It's not great either. Though the Liliana is difficult to cast. It'll be a Dreadbore. It'll be a Marsh Flats, and we'll head back over to Michael Kidd. Kidd will draw. He'll play a Treetop Village.
Yes. Classic Jund.
We are Junding hard right now.
One Treetop, I'm guessing, right?
Most likely. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
just one. Just one land waking up to give beatdowns. I hope Treetop Village comes back soon.
Players in the 1030 Sealed Spectacular. Your next round area.
Truly is one of my favorite cards.
The Gathering Point.
Yeah, I remember my mind being kind of blown when I saw that card for the first time.
Players in the 1030.
I do wish the other ones weren't so bad.
Well, that's not fair. I think.
Fairy Conclave's fine.
Yeah.
What is it, Forbidden Watchtower?
Forbidden Watchtower is bad. Spawning Pool has a role. It's not good.
Yeah.
K2 Encampment is
Fine. It's
medium.
fine.
Very medium.
I'm sure you fired up a couple of those in your day.
Absolutely. After I had blown up all of my opponent's lands with Smokestack and land destruction spells, that's how you got it done.
It's Young Pyromancer time. That's one. That's one.
I wouldn't be optimistic about this dude because there's still the Collective Brutality in kids' hands, and this might be a good spot to double dip.
No, I think in this kind of matchup, it's too bad to double dip. You can't afford a double dip and throw a card away.
Are you sure? You sure you're not?
No, of course I'm not sure.
You're not interested in duressing? Your opponent's just drawn 2 cards and tapped out and passed the turn back to you, and you have no interest in that?
Especially when they discard a spell like that. No way. No way.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to it. We'll find out in a turn, I'm guessing.
No way.
Seems more likely. Well, I guess the Liliana is still uncastable. That's also another argument for brutality for 2 modes here. If you can't cast the Liliana anyway. Now, if he draws a swamp, then it's pretty easy. You can just cast the Liliana and take care of the Young Pyromancer, and we move on. But if he doesn't, you could see 2 modes on the brutality.
I don't like this.
I think it's in play.
Thinking a lot about this. I don't like this. There's a land. I would just cast it out. Yep, that would do that.
Okay.
Yep, that's good. That's good. Whew. In for one. Go get a little elemental. Ooh. Spell? No spell. Go back over to Michael Kidd. Bloodbraid Elf. Here we go. Terminate. See ya.
Classic Jund.
Bolt that.
Yeah, that does not work.
That does not work.
That does not work.
Yeah, it's on the stack. Yeah, it does not work. You can bolt it in a second, though. Yeah, Terminate resolves. Then Bloodbraid Elf resolves.
Yeah.
Then Bolt will kill you. You
It's
just
just
don't get an elemental.
yeah, Arthur does not get an elemental.
Yeah, that's all.
That's the thing here.
Yep. Yeah, now bolted. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good. And we've hit the point that we hit with this deck all the time where running out of resources against a deck that's a little bit more powerful, a little bit more attrition-y. Bedlam Reveler can catch you all the way up, and if you don't have it, you're just running out of stuff to work with.
In for one. Back to Michael Kidd. As these two players make sure their life totals are correct. A little bit of confusion between the two, so they will make sure they have it correct. Here's healthy back and forth, good conversation. There we are. Now Hunt Match of the Fells is the play, a wolf token on the way. So 2 life and a 2-2. And then we'll keep right on rolling. Now we will go back over to Marshall Arthurs, who you mentioned Bedlam Reveler. That's really what he needs to find right now.
Yeah, Jund is just much more powerful to play these sorts of games than a deck like Pyromancer. You got to kind of cheat it here.
Here's an Inquisition of Kozilek. Anger of the Gods, Terminate, and Dark Confidant. Pretty good looking hand there for Kidd. 3 spells.
Yeah, it's tough because the Confidant's probably the card you want to take the most, but also the Confidant makes it really easy for a kid to just pass the turn. But if you have a Dread Boar, then there you go. Easy.
So Arthur's plan is to just take care of
Yeah.
It's just to take care of the creatures, as here comes Treetop Village. There's a Black Leaf Closer in his battlefield tap, which means Kidd, left in hand, Anger the Gods, Terminate. Here's Faithless Looting. Let me flashback. Arthurs will draw 2. He'll be discarding 2 in just a moment. 2 lands. Play a Bloodstained Mire. Just 1 card left in hand, but he is against an opponent that only... now 2 black mana because of the Black Leaf Cliffs. So the Lilianas are live for Michael Kidd if he draws 1. Oh, now we're going to Raging Ravine. We mix it up with these creature lands.
Every land gets a taste.
Yes. Raging Ravine will get a counter. The Wolf token to deal 2. Marshall Arthurs is being grinded down as there's another copy of Raging Ravine. Jund is junding so hard right now. What year is this?
It's every year.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like this in perpetuity.
Bedlam Reveler, where are you? Because that's what Marshall Arthur needs to get back into this one. Even a card like Lingering Soul is not particularly good right now. It's fine, but it's not anything to be excited about. As we are going to go over to Arthur's. He'll draw. How many Bedlams in there? 4 for him? I know he
4.
He normally plays 4. See what this is. He's going to looting again? Oh boy.
Does he have any left?
Maybe not. Looks like he's got nothing left. Boy. We'll go back over to Kidd. Kidd thinking about firing up Raging Ravine or Treetop Village again. Maybe just the Wolf token will come in.
His hand, as we know, is very reactive right now.
And he's got Anger and Terminate plus a mystery card given his draw step. That's the only thing we don't know right now. A lot of decisions to make here for Michael Kidd. Here's Bloodbraid. Cascade time. Thoughtseize. What's going on over there, Marshall? Response. It's a fatal push on the Wolf token. Thoughtseize will reveal a mountain. Kidd will take 2, but he'll attack, more importantly, for 3. Yo, Bedlam. You ever going to show up? There's the mountain.
Uh-oh. Do
Well,
we get it?
I mean, he's counting, so yes. Bink.
Yeah,
3 cards coming.
very easily, this cannot be good enough, but this is the start.
This is where he had to start. Otherwise, nothing else was going to matter. And he might just draw a couple cards that don't matter. So, as you mentioned, this is the start. Now, keep in mind, Kid does have 2 mana open and be able to cast Terminate to kill the Bedlam Reveler. And Arthurs is looking at the battlefield. Doesn't appear to be the most confident right now. Might be another Bedlam Reveler. Yep, had a feeling. Let's see what he discards. Thought Season Bolt. A little short on red mana to be able to bolt the Bloodbraid. 1, 2, 3. This is how Mardu Pyromancer gets caught up in mid-range spots. This is something, as here's an Inquisition of Codes, like this is something that Jund does not really have access to. Terminate's going to take care of that first Bedlam Reveler. Anger of the Gods will be placed into the graveyard now. And okay.
Fortunately, now he's just the Raging Ravine is now the Abyss.
Yes, it is. Well, we'll see if Michael Kidd realizes that, and I would not be surprised if he does, as he's already... Ooh, he's going to Treetop. Well, that explains why. Treetop in combination with Maelstrom Pulse and Attack You.
That's not enough mana.
Yeah, I think his mana is tapped wrong because he needs a black mana. He needs a black mana for that, but he has 6 mana, so he's fine.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
He just uses a black for the
Right.
Pulse, 2 others plus 1 for the Treetop, Attack You for 6, timely top deck. Michael Kidd going to win this game and match over Marshall Arthurs 2-1. Jund going to take care of Mardu Pyromancer, and for Michael Kidd, he was able to make it through those Bedlam Revelers and able to get the job done. 9-2 here.